All right. Hello, everyone. It's me, Lydia. I am super, super excited today to come on Facebook Live and share some of my favorite tips for creating images that are going to make your customer stop scrolling. So, just a few things before we kind of jump in. One, I do have Hannah in the room with me. She is monitoring or moderating for me so that if I do get any questions and I'm not able to see them on the live myself, she will jump in and let me know. Because for a large portion of this webinar, I am going to be working on my computer and showing you how we create amazing visual content for our clients and for ourselves. So since I'm going to be actually working, I thought it would be good to have her in here so that she can kind of let me know if there are any questions or anything like that. So feel free to interact, comment, ask me a question, whatever. And Hannah will be letting me know when those come in. Another quick thing, if you want, you can comment and let us know. I have a PDF document that I can send you direct message here on Facebook if you just comment and let me know. But it is a PDF document that has social media dimensions guide, kind of. So for all of the different social media platforms, it feels like every single one has different dimensions needed for a profile picture, for a header photo, for just a regular post. So if you would like a social media dimensions guide PDF, we can message that to you as well. Just comment below and we will make sure to get that. If not during the live, we can definitely do it once I finish today. So that's completely free. Just comment at any time. Let us know if you would like that. And quick thing, so sorry for the glare on my glasses. If you wear glasses, you understand struggle. Family photos are horrific, but I think that is all I have before we jump in. I am going to go ahead and share my screen. So probably for the rest of this entire thing, my face is going to be smaller because I'm going to be sharing my screen with you. So let's see. Go here. So like the post going over creating images that will make your customer stop scrolling. So because I think everyone knows if you're an advertiser or just a business, post understand what it takes to make someone stop scrolling, because I know for myself, every day, 8 to 5. So when I get home, I already have so many other things to do. I want to be really quick, catch up on what I can as fast as I can. And thumb is going very quickly. So it definitely takes some strategic maneuvering to make sure that you are creating something that is eye-catching and engaging to the person to make them stop scrolling. Make them read what you want them to read, see what they should see from you, and even take an action that you want them to take. So just a quick introduction. I am Lydia Murphy. I've been with Ugly Mug for just over a year, I guess a year and a month now. And I am the social media coordinator. So I create, manage, implement all of those things, social media advertising for my clients. So those clients look vastly different from each other. I have people in the healthcare industry. I have people in the insurance industry. Many other things I won't tell you about all of them, but they span a wide variety of content. So it definitely has forced me to understand what it takes. Someone who is in an ideal audience over here, it's going to be different what it takes them to stop scrolling versus someone over here. So I just think it's a really fun topic to dive into and kind of think about the psychology of it as well. So that's kind of my introduction. If you have any questions about me, let me know. I guess I'm an open book. I don't know. All right. So kind of a quick overview of what we're going to cover today. The first two are a lot quicker than the third. The third is the bulk of it all. But I'm going to share just 5 quick tips for creating effective visual content. These are just, I think, the easiest 5 to implement, and also probably the easiest to understand as well. You may know a few of them. If so, then that's great because you're a little ahead. But if not, then you're going to get to learn them today. And then after that, I am going to chat real quickly about my favorite tool and probably a handful of others here at Ugly Mug. My favorite tool to create visual media, whether that be images, videos, I guess that's it. But visual media, how we do that, what website software we use. And then lastly, I am going to actually show you how we create unique and eye-catching graphics using this tool. So I am going to go over a real life example of just a regular static image, nothing moving or nothing popping out, nothing crazy, just a regular image. Then I'm going to do virtually the same thing, but using the tool that we're going to go over. You can add in animated elements. So it's not that it's an entire moving video. Everything, is moving, and it's not actually a video, but you can add animated elements to have a little movement, and it really does catch the eye. So those 2 things. And then lastly, in this tool, you can use stock video, which is really cool. So I'm going to go over how to use stock video and make sure that it is aligned with your social media campaigns and goals. Yes, so let's go ahead and we are going to dive in. Actually, I just remembered at the end, after I go through the examples of those 3 different types of visual media, if we have enough time, I'm not sure how long I'm going to be talking, but I want to open it up and I want to create a graphic for free for someone who's watching. If you need, if you have an idea for something you might want to post or run on your Facebook page or your Instagram, start thinking about that because I want to do one of those for someone watching. So that'll be at the end. So stay tuned if you want that to be you. But we're going to jump in now, and I'm going to go over Lydia's 5 quick tips for effective visual content. So number 1, you want to find your fonts. So just kind of a disclaimer, I think most of what I'm going to be saying is in light of a business context, which is probably obvious, but just want to reiterate that. So if you're representing your business on social media, you want to have, I would say, 2, maybe 3 max fonts that are just your go-to that you continually use on your visual media. And the reason for that is you don't, especially on one graphic, you don't want to be using 5 or 6 different fonts just because that is extremely jarring to the eye. But there are some ways to kind of mix it up. So as you'll see, even on the screen here, this header font I have for quick tips for effective visual content. That font is called the Marmalade. That is one of a few that we have on our Ugly Mug style guide. So that's one that we use often. And then the font actually for this next line, tip number 1, find your fonts. It's the same font, but one of them is bolded. One of them is a lighter or a thin version of the same font. So if you feel like you're just using 2 or 3 and it still looks maybe kind of bland or something along those lines, maybe if your font has versions like this where you can bold or italicize or have thinner versions, that's a good way to get around that. But yes, that would be tip number 1, find your fonts. Most, or maybe not most, but I think a lot of brands, if you have a style guide or something of the sort, they may already have those fonts decided. So if you aren't sure if you have that, I would try to find that out. ask people, in that department if there are certain fonts you should be using. And I'll get into it, but a cool feature of the tool we use is that you can upload your font files into the platform. So even if it's not already there, you can still use them if you are able to download them on the internet. All right, so that was tip number 1, find your fonts. Tip number 2, color me impressed. So you want to have a kind of a color palette, that's the word I'm looking for, a color palette that you use consistently across your visual media. That doesn't mean that every single color in your color palette has to be on every single piece of content, but just to have that laid out so that you are creating a consistent brand. And when people see it, they associate that color with your brand. So, I mean, I think a really common example would be Target. Everyone knows the Target red color. It's not a deep maroon, it's a really bright cherry red. That's a little easy because Target's really only red and white, but just have those colors, use them consistently. I think here at Ugly Mug, we have like 5 different colors. One of them is like a gray, which is actually at the bottom of this little thing right here, whatever this is called. But we have like 5 colors. We use them. We use like different amounts of them, more in certain things than we do others, but just to have the basic color palette to work from is really important, and that will help you a lot when you're creating those pieces, and it will make them all match, which is always good. So tip number 2, color me impressed. Tip number 3, the power of video. So like I said before, I will actually be creating a little video graphic in the tool that we're going to be using. So video, especially on Facebook and Instagram actually, is really, really cool, because when someone is scrolling and a video pops up on their screen, I'm pretty sure it only takes like 2 or 3 pixels or something like that for it to populate before it auto plays. So if someone's scrolling and a video comes up on their timeline, I'm sure all of you watching know this because you experience it every day while you're on social media, but video auto plays. So it automatically starts the movement, which is definitely more eye-catching than a lot of static imagery that you can create. So video is definitely a powerful tool to make someone stop scrolling. But it's also just, I think, a lot more emotionally appealing, because you can portray so many emotions and make someone feel a lot more with a video than you can an image. I love photography, so I'm not going to say that you can't make someone feel something by displaying an image, but it's just a lot easier to do that with a video. So tip number 3, make sure you're using video. Then tip number 4 is the rule of thirds. So I could have put this on here, but my quick tip would be Google rule of thirds, go to images, you'll see what I'm talking about. But basically, if I have this screen here, divide vertically the entire image into 3s. So you have 2 lines that are evenly spaced, and the same goes for horizontally. Then you end up with 9 squares, and you see the cross points, the intersections of those sections. That's where you want to place your subjects of your images. I think another common example would be a lot of our graphic content that we use. If it's a photo, we're putting the main subject of the photo maybe on one side or the other. And then if there's more of an empty space, if there's text on our graphic, we're going to put the text on the other third. So there are psychological studies of why this rule is actually effective with our brains. It's actually like ingrained in us that is just more appealing to look at. So that's really interesting. You can definitely look up all of that if you want, but that was my tip number 4, rule of thirds. Super important for, especially for photography, I think. My last tip is that consistency creates miracles. This is something that we have talked about a lot at Ugly Mug Marketing. We mentioned this on probably every social media summit we've done, but just making sure that whatever you're creating visually for your brand, your company, you want it to have a consistency. Because as I mentioned before, when you see something that Target has published, if I'm scrolling on my Instagram and I see a photo before, and I see Target's red color, or, there are certain visual aspects that they repeat often, but I see that photo, I know it's Target before I even look at the username. So that's really powerful. If you can create a consistent brand that people recognize and resonate with before they even look to see who posted it, that's super powerful. So consistency creates miracles would be my 5th tip for creating effective visual content. Let me know if you have any questions about any of those. I will try to get to that. But now we're going to talk about the tool that we love to use here at Ugly Mug to create a lot of our visual media, and that is Canva. So you may have heard us mention this tool before, but this is what we're going to be working in as I go through my actual demos of specific content. But Canva is such a great tool. It has so many capabilities. I probably have only dipped my toe in all of the things that Canva can do. It's a really powerful tool. I'm going to go over some of the pricing structures of Canva, because there is a free version of Canva, which I've used before, but it's definitely very limited. So let me go ahead. I'm going to switch. Here I have the Canva pricing structure pulled up to share with you. So as I said, there's a free version of Canva. Anyone can use it, but you'll see here it kind of tells you what all that includes. You can use their templates. They do have a certain amount of fonts available for you to use, but it's a lot less than if you have the Pro. And you cannot upload fonts if you have the free version as well. They also just have less stock imagery. So I think we're good over there. But there's a free version of Canva, and then there's the Pro version. So we use Pro here at Ugly Mug. If you buy it a year's worth, it's $10 a month. So that would be $120. I'm really good at math. And then if you don't buy a full year, that is just basically $13 every month that you use it. It's just billed monthly. When you have the Pro account, like I said, you can use the stock video, you can upload your own fonts, you can create what they call a brand kit. So you can actually create a saved like color palette for your brand, so that you don't have to create the new colors for every single piece of content, which you'll see it'll make more sense when we're actually in Canva. But there are a vast number of things that you can do when you pay for Pro. They do have this enterprise version. I doubt that anyone watching this would need that. I think that's for super giant companies. But my tip would be, if you can, to sign up for Canva Pro if you're interested after watching all of this. It's definitely worth the investment, especially if you are already super regular posting and advertising on your social media. But even if you're not, it's a great place to get started. I think it's super user-friendly and easy to learn. And hopefully after watching some of these examples that I'll go through, it will be even easier than if you had just jumped in without any warning. So now I'm going to go ahead and dive in and show you a little bit around Canva and go through some live examples of how to create content. So real quick, let's see. Looks like I'm not sharing the right screen. I'm not sure where to switch it. Do you know? Hannah to the rescue. I know Canva.
Just want to make sure that y'all can see everything that she is sharing. So hold on one second here. There we go.
Awesome. All right. Just real quick, since I guess it wasn't up, here are the quick pricing structures. Sorry for that little blip. I forget you have to specify what tab you're sharing. So again, free forever if you don't want to pay for Canva Pro. If you do want to pay for Canva Pro, it costs $9.95 a month if you buy an entire year. If not, you want to pay monthly, it's $12.95. I definitely think it is worth that investment. But I'm going to go ahead and jump in, show you around Canva, and we're just going to dive into some live examples. So what I was going to say is that the way that we logistically use Canva with our folders, our brand kit, all of that might look a little bit different than the way you use it if you get in here for just your brand, because we have folders for all of our clients that we create content in here for. So my tip might be for you, if you want to create folders for your content, maybe separate that by platform, because if you want that social media dimensions guide, you'll see that there are certain dimensions that are going to be a little bit different that you want to use on Instagram versus Facebook. And a really cool thing about Canva, so if I go to their homepage, this was our little ugly mug folder that was just there. But if you go to the homepage, you can, if you click create a design, they have pre-made dimensions already in here for a large number of different types of content. So you'll see a Facebook post, which is almost square, but it's just a little bit longer, I guess, than it is tall. You have a Facebook cover photo. You can do a presentation, Twitter header. You can see all of these examples. Instagram post, which is just a square. But it's really cool because it has those specific pixel sizes in there, so you know it's not going to be too small of a file, and then you uploaded it and it's super blurry or something like that. So that's super handy. So my tip would be maybe create folders for those different platforms, like I said, just to separate that out, make it a little bit easier on yourself to navigate. And again, like I said, for our brand kit, we have a gazillion fonts uploaded in here, because that's like my favorite thing ever, is to find a font and then download it and upload it into Canva so I can use it forever. But we also have just a few of our clients in here, which we honestly need to go in and do this for everyone, because it makes everything so simple when you upload brand colors. So you'll see these are our ugly mug colors. I said earlier, I think we have 5 of them. Yeah. So those colors are saved. So if I create a new design and I go to the section in Canva where I want to change a color, those are already saved. I don't have to memorize the hex codes, and I don't have to have those saved somewhere. They're already in Canva. It's really handy. We have a few more of our other clients in here as well. You'll see all of these fonts we've uploaded. We're kind of addicted to it, but that's a cool feature as well. You can also upload different logos in here. But yes, so let's just go ahead. I am going to jump into this tab I already have opened and loaded. This is a graphic, actually, that is currently on our Facebook page, a little plug. So if you're watching this, it would be the one right below it, the post right below it. We posted about a super, super cool challenge / giveaway that we're doing on our Facebook page for business people like yourself. So if you haven't seen that or heard about it, please go look at that and enter to win some really cool prizes. Spoiler alert, you could win a free 3-month Canva membership. Oh wait, that reminds me, you can win one today. So I want to give away a free, for you, but a 3-month Canva Pro membership to one person watching today. All you have to do, I'll repeat this a couple times in case we get some new people on here. All you have to do is comment and tell me what your favorite shape is. I have options though. Let me read them real quick. Why I want to do this is kind of a little tangent, but I think it's really cool. Why I want to do this is that I've learned that when I'm even creating content for different clients, so they're the way that we represent their brand looks very different from each other. I just have tendencies to use certain elements or visual effects just because we all have personal preferences, right? Designing is art. We all have different preferences for art. And so what your favorite shape is can actually tell you a little bit about your personality. So I just thought it would be a fun little portion of this webinar here. If you want to tell me your favorite shape, I have the little descriptions here. I'll tell you what Dr. Susan Dellinger thinks that means about you. Apparently she wrote a book about it. I'll be honest, I didn't read the book, which is probably bad. But I found this on the internet. I've done this little thing before. I'll go ahead and tell you. I'm a circle. My favorite shape is a circle. And for circles, if you're out there, this is what she has to say about us. It says, circles, you are a people person with lots of sympathy and consideration for others, which is definitely true for myself. I'm very empathetic. You listen and communicate well and are very perceptive about feelings. You like harmony and hate making unpopular decisions. How to spot a circle. They're friendly, nurturing, persuasive, and generous. They tend to be relaxed and smile a lot. They're talkative but have a mellow voice. They also have a full laugh and love to touch others on the shoulder and arm. No idea how they came up with that fact, but maybe that's true. I don't know. I'm a circle. If you're a fellow circle, let me know. But the other options would be a square, a rectangle, a triangle, or a squiggle, which some people might argue that a squiggle is not a shape. I might argue that as well, but it's on here, so we're going to work with it. If you want to win a 3-month Canva Pro membership, comment, tell me your favorite shape. I'll let you know what it means about you, and you will be entered, and we will choose that at the end. So that was my little aside. So to kind of jump back into this live demo, this is a graphic I created to promote our World Social Media Day challenge / giveaway. And so this is what it ended up being. I am going to duplicate this. So in Canva, if you click these little 2 things, it duplicates the entire graphic. And I'm going to start from scratch and show you how I actually created it, why I did certain things, all of that. So I'm just going to select everything, delete the photo. The background I have here is the blue color. That is our Ugly Mug blue color. But if I wanted to change it, let me put my face down here. If I wanted to change it, I just click this little square and I can change it to whatever I want. These are the saved Ugly Mug colors, but I chose this blue. So first thing I'm going to do is upload my photo. So one of my favorite things, I actually didn't even learn this until, I don't know, maybe just a few months ago. Hannah might know. But I was clicking around. I found this little More tab down here on the bottom. And they have all of these apps and integrations that are connected to your Canva account. And I saw one of them is Google Drive. We use Google Drive a lot at Ugly Mug. That's where we have a lot of our photos, just a lot of our documents in general. But I was clicking around and I'm like, okay, let's see if this works. So if you click Google Drive, if you also use Google Drive, this would be very helpful. But we click that. All I have to do is search if I know what the folder name is. So for this one, I just know it was 12th of December, Nikki Bardwell shoot. Then it'll pull up all of the photos in that folder. So let's scroll around. We're gonna find the one of myself looking at my computer, as you could see in the original graphic. Now you're really getting it behind the scenes because you can see all of these photos we had in that photo shoot. Okay, so there it is. I click it, it automatically dumps it into the graphic or the little thing here. So I'm going to move it over and I'm going to stretch it to cover the entire thing. Let me go back here and look where I moved it to. So just gonna move it down a little bit. Oh, of course, an error. Okay. So what I'm gonna do then is actually go to Google Drive and download it. Thought that would be a really cool tip, and then Canva decided not to work. So here we go. Let's see. Maybe it'll work again because I don't really have to find it. It should actually dump into uploads over here. Oh yeah, there it is, 3 times. Okay, so we're gonna stretch it. Move her down a little bit. And then one thing, so you may notice, let me just crop this so these lines are out of my way. Really picky about that. One thing you may notice if you look at this photo versus this one, you'll see the tint here is a little bit more blue than the original. So what I did is if you click your photo, this little thing here with the checkered squares, that is how you can change the transparency of an object in Canva. I think it's a really cool feature. I'm sure all of you Photoshop gurus are like, yeah, duh, but I love transparency. So I'm actually gonna click on this one and see what I set it to. Sorry, transparency is at 82. So for this one, whatever color you have behind the image is going to drastically affect the tint that it gives off when you adjust the transparency. So if there was a red color behind it instead of blue, it's gonna look a lot different when I adjust transparency than if I had this blue color. So we'll go here, just gonna go ahead and do 82. So now you'll see the tint right there is the same. Another thing you'll see here, my eyes, or my face in general, is a lot more in focus than this one. So another thing I did, just because I thought it would make the eye drawn more towards the textual element of the photo, because when you have something that has a person's face on it, our human natural tendency is to, our eyes gravitate towards the face. So I didn't want my face in the background of this to be too much of a distraction. So I wanted to blur that out a little bit. So what I did is I clicked on the photo. You can go over here to adjust. And then they have a bunch of these options you can do. The one I mainly use would be this blur effect. So it's very powerful. I literally only blurred it like 3 out of probably 100. But that is what created that blur effect. So we'll do that on this one here. You'll see blurs at 0. This blurs the entire image. So there you go. You see it kind of affected that there. So that's pretty much all I did to the image itself. And now all of the rest we are adding on top of it. So first, let's go ahead and type our actual text. So go over to the text tab. I just click one of these, add a heading, because you can change the font and the color and all of that. So our first text box just says world. Go up here, search for the font that you want. This one is recently used, so it's up at the top. Change it there. I have made the text here yellow. I think our yellow shade is very eye-catching in general. It's also just kind of a more happy color. So I went with the yellow and used our other colors as just little pieces of color in the back. So we're gonna change the color of the word to our ugly mug yellow. Let me go ahead and look, see what size we have. Okay, 58.6. We'll change it here. All right, move that generally where we think we'll want it. Then if you want to more quickly create a new text box with the same font and color and all of that and size, if you click on here in the actual box just once, click on your keyboard Command D, which duplicates it, and then you can type whatever else you want. So social media. Gonna play around with this text box, make it a little bit smaller. Let's see what size we are, 51.9. Has anyone told me what shape they are? Okay, let me hear some shapes.
Tim said he's a circle.
Tim, you're a circle, yay. Let me know if you think the description I said is relevant to you. I thought it was pretty relevant to me.
Dirk said he's an equilateral triangle.
Dirk. Okay, let me read. I think I knew that. I think Wayne told me he's a triangle, and I read it and I was like, Wayne, I don't know. So let me read the triangle description. It says, you're a born leader who's competitive, confident, and decisive. You also like recognition and are interested in politics. American business has traditionally been run by triangles, and they're usually men. How to spot a triangle. They're very stylish. Sorry, Dirk, I don't know. And expensive dressers. Sorry, Dirk, I don't know. They have powerful voices, definitely. Love to tell jokes, definitely. And play as hard as they work. I think that's pretty accurate. Yeah. Anybody else?
Dirk's your dad.
Yeah, Dirk's my father. I was kind of messing with him. Did we have any others?
Sandy said she is a tie between a circle and a square.
Okay. That's interesting. So my mom is actually a square. Let me read that one. Hannah, aren't you a square? Yeah. Hannah's a square. This says you're an organized, logical, and hardworking person who likes structure and rules. That's a big part, I think, of the square, the structure and rules part of it. But sometimes you have trouble making decisions because you always want more information. How to spot a square. They appear to move stiffly. They use precise gestures. They love routine, and they are very concerned with detail. They are also very neat in their appearance and workspace, and they do a lot of planning, and they're always prompt. Hannah's workspace, I don't know, I'll call her out, not very neat. But all right, so that's our square. I guess the only ones we have left then are squiggle and rectangle. So if anyone's a squiggle or a rectangle, let me know.
Tim said he thought that description was accurate.
Oh, the circle?
Yeah.
Cool. I think it's really interesting. My mom is definitely a square. She loves structure. She loves rules. All of those personality traits resonate with her. So who was that? Sandy said?
Yeah.
Sandy, let me know.
Sorry, Tim.
Oh, Tim. Let me know if I just read your description, if you think it's accurate. But, okay, let me get back to this. So all of those people you're entered, we'll see at the end who will win the free 3-month Canva membership. Okay, so I think I changed this font size. Yes, last one. Let's see. Hannah, feel free to cut me off. Some of this is boring work, so just let me know.
Dirk said, I know how to rotate my 5 shirts for maximum effect.
That's very accurate. Okay, so now what I'm trying to do is line up the left edge of all of these words to be even. So as you see here, basically if I drew a line down the left part of this section of text, they're all pretty even. So that's what I'm trying to do here. If your text boxes are the exact same size, what Canva will do is actually tell you with these little pink dashed guide marks when you are left aligned. But when I'm duplicating and making all of these different size text and text boxes, it's not always super easy to make sure that that's actually equal. So I try to do it visually in that case. So probably not going to be perfect. Sorry, squares. You're going to be really annoyed if it's not perfect, but I'll try my best. Okay, so text is done. Next, what I have done is added in this rectangular sort of piece behind the text. One, to make it stand out because it's a little hard to read just by itself on the image. And 2, I wanted to incorporate a lot more of our colors so that it just screamed ugly mug, basically. So what I did there is you go to elements on the left side. You can search for the shape you want. It's usually in our recently used, as you can see, or down here, they have a lot of common shapes. So I just click the square. You can adjust the color. You can adjust the size however you want. We'll see. Let's see. The first one I have is the pink. So let's go ahead and change that. And just to make it quicker, I'm just gonna try to get it the exact same size, but we'll see. So move this there. Just the length. All right, so there's our first little one. What you can do is actually duplicate that, change the color. What is it, blue? Just do the same thing. So you'll see on this one, it's actually in front of the text, but super quick fix, click position up at the top. You can move it wherever you want. So just move it backwards, it will go behind. And then if I use my keyboard arrows, I can move it slightly. Okay, last one is orange. So I'll just duplicate this one. We're almost there, guys. We're almost done. Make it a little smaller since the word is shorter. And we will just do the same thing. Move it backward. There we go. Again, probably not equal to the original, but the idea is the same. Next thing is our logo. So actually, I need to move all of these words up. So I have room for it. So I'm gonna click down on my mouse and drag and select whatever I want to select. And I can simply, I'm just gonna move it up with my arrows just because I don't need a whole lot. Okay, good enough. And then if we go over, let's see, where is it? I know our logo is, I have it in our uploads down here. But it was probably a long time ago. There we go. All right. Upload the logo. Adjust however you want. I think it's pretty close. All right, we just made an entire static image Canva graphic. Pretty simple. That is probably, I think, the easiest of the three, maybe, to accomplish in Canva. There are, obviously, you can see there are tons of tools. You can use stock photo from Canva, so I can search whatever I want. If I'm making a summer-related post or something, you know, search summer. You get all these pictures. Family. Oh, I misspelled it. So if you have Pro, there are definitely a lot of great stock images that you can choose from there. They have templates. So we've used a few templates before on Canva, but depending on the size graphic that you are creating, the templates are different. So you can kind of scroll through those, see if any of those work. Somebody's car is getting robbed or something. They have some cool templates. If you need to upload a file, simply click upload an image or video. It'll bring up your file finder, whatever. What else? We've gone to elements. Elements is definitely, I think, one of the more common things that I'm looking through. They have a lot of illustrated things on here. As you can see, they have a little coronavirus section. They have a lot of different shapes. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. So what I'm going to do, I know this is getting a little lengthy, so I'm going to try to speed it up. I'm just going to duplicate this. Well, I guess I'll leave it because we have the duplicated one. I'm going to search for, in the Elements tab, animated. So this is example number 2 that we're going through. Animated arrow. And you'll see, look at all these pretty little moving things. So what this does is when I add this element into my graphic, it will convert when I download it into a video file. So when you upload it onto Facebook or Instagram, it's like an MP4 or something like that. So you can scroll through here, look in, see which one you want to use. I like this one. So it'll upload. You'll see, you can adjust the size and stuff. Some of them, I believe you can change the color on, but since it's animated, usually the color is not changeable. So you might need that to be something that is a deciding factor. So I can search those there, put it wherever the heck I want. I can put it on my face. And then, like I said, if I go down here to download, it will say file type video, and you need to make sure you select the actual one you're downloading, because if not, it'll download every single one and put them all in a video. So I would select page 5, done, and then download. So that's sort of a quicker example of how to do animated elements. So as I said before, it's not like the entire thing, the entire piece of content is moving in a video fashion, but there's just one piece. So an example, if you go to, I think it's still the cover photo. If you go to Little Cake's Facebook page, I think their header, has a little graphic animated thing that Hannah did that, so she could probably explain it better, but my assumption would be she did that so it really catches the eye of someone when they're on the page, and she positioned the animated element around the most important thing on that image, which was that they are Sinlaw's best cupcake or something like that. So that's a cool thing to use because, as I said before, when you're scrolling, it auto plays, you're going to see that movement and automatically your eyes are drawn to it. So there are a variety of things you can search in Canva to find animated things, but just make sure you're searching animated. I'm sure one day they'll have an update where all of their animated things are in a separate tab, but right now you just go under elements, search animated, and then whatever you need. Okay, so that is example 2. Before we move to the video, do we have any questions or shapes? I'm going to take a sip of water.
Don't see any questions
Okay.
or additional shapes, but can you talk about the animate button that's over here on the corner? Is that what you're going to talk about next?
Yes. Yeah, that was a portion. I'm glad you mentioned that, Hannah. So another thing that Canva allows, I'm just going to delete this so it's easier to understand. Any static image that you create, you have the ability to make into an animated video. So if I'm on this graphic here and I click this animate tab, you see all of these little options. So when I click them, it will give me an example of what it will look like. So this block feature moves everything in that fashion. I'm not going to try to describe every single one of these. Fade, there's pan, I like that one. This one's a fun one, scrapbook. So if you want to, this just makes it easier if you want to just go through and create your image, but you still want it to have that eye-catching effect and movement. This is a great way to do that. So if you have it selected, again, it's going to become a video file format. So if I go to download it, it'll say video there. So that's a cool way as well. This isn't, I guess, pertaining to creating images or anything like that, but just a quick side note, if you have a video ad on Facebook, you can actually make an audience and retarget people who have watched a certain amount of that video, like a specific video. So that's a really cool retargeting aspect. So sometimes if we want that option, we may animate or do something like animated or something like that so that we can have that option later. So just a quick, I guess, Facebook ads or something tip. So that's how you can animate a static image in Canva. So now I'm going to just create a new page and we're going to do some video. Okay, Hannah doesn't know I'm going to make her do this, but I'm going to make Hannah give me a prompt. What kind of video ad should I make? Putting her on the spot.
Like for a certain business or a certain
Give me an
theme.
industry.
give you an industry. Retail, like a boutique.
A boutique. Okay. Okay. Now
Did I make it too complicated?
I'm like, oh my God, retail. Okay. So I have some ideas. Let's go ahead and go. We're going to jump into this videos tab. Let me make the background of this white just so it's plainer. Go into videos and I'm just going to search. Let's see. Let's search women shopping. So if you actually, I love how a lot of the first ones are women and wearing masks. Definitely culturally relevant. Might use one of those. If you hover over it, it kind of quickly plays like a preview of what the video will actually look like. But if you want to watch the whole thing, you can always click it and it will upload and show you. Also, there are probably a lot of different other websites and stuff that you can find stock video on. I just think since it's already in here in Canva, it's always great to search here first to try to find that content. Let's see what this one looks like. So it's going to load. It shows you how long it is. So once it loads, I'm just going to play it. There we go. Okay. Have a little fashionista. For sake of time, let's just go ahead and use this one. Oh my gosh, there's a dog in the back. Bonus. Okay, so I'm going to move it. Another cool thing is that you can put this video anywhere. It doesn't have to be the entire size of your graphic, right? So if I wanted, this is something we've done before too. If I go to photos and I just type in phone and I want a picture of like an empty phone, I can have that. I can find a video, or you can even upload a video and place it somewhere in that image. So it just kind of looks a little bit more natural. Definitely very eye-catching. We've done that before. But, you know, if I wanted to change the background color here to our orange and have some text on the side or something, you can do that. So I think that's really cool that when you upload the video, it doesn't just take over the whole thing. Like it's just a video, that's it. So maybe I want this little color peeking out. Let me change it because I have my Addie's boutique colors here. She's retail. So we'll use one of hers. Okay, so maybe I want to add a little bit of text. We'll go here. What do I want to say? Let's say, we're going to say, is your closet summer ready? Kind of cute, kind of fresh. I feel like I'm getting way too comfortable in this webinar. Okay, we'll just move it around. So one thing though to note is that wherever you place it, as far as I know, you can't really adjust the timing that text or element comes into play. So it'll be there for the entire length of the video. So I'm just gonna, oh, also you might notice I downloaded the Airbnb app. I mean, font. So that's a free one to download. I don't think they have it trademarked if you like it and you want to use it. If you would type something, you want it to be all caps without actually having to type in all caps, you can click this little thing here and it'll adjust the case. So I'll just make that one a little bigger. Let's do like the thing I mentioned earlier. I want to use the same font, but I want different weight. I can go here. Let's make that light. It'll take a second. Oh, nope. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, left align as best we can. Okay, now let's click play on our video and see how she looks. Not bad. I probably in real life would make some edits, might not use the same text, but just for sake of example, And for sake of time, there's an example of how you could do that. If you wanted to make sure the text stands out, you could maybe even add a shape behind the text that is over the actual video, if that makes sense. So I could come here. Let's move my text. Definitely going to change color of this. Moving this around. So there, I'm clicking on one. If I hold shift and click multiple other elements, it just selects them all. I can even group them together so that they all stay together in the same spacing. Let's see what white looks like. So clicking the actual boxes, changing this font color or text color. So there's kind of an example if you wanted your text to stand out a little bit more from the actual video. I've been on here way longer than I expected I would be. So I'm gonna wrap up my live demos there. If I have any more shapes that people think they are, we can go over those. If not, I'm going to create a graphic for someone if they want. Maybe not, because this has been very long. Do we have any other shapes before we close?
No other shapes, but Steve Dale said, I get a lot out of these trainings. I need all the help I can get. I like tech, but it tends to beat me up 9 times out of 10.
Tech is in technology?
Yeah, but that's why we like Canva, right?
Yeah, so that's a big reason that I like Canva. That's probably a big reason Hannah likes Canva. And here, another thing too that I wanted to touch on, Canva has what they call a design school. So you can take courses that teach you how to actually use the application. It's super simple. Like I think each little lesson is probably 3 minutes or less. They teach you how to actually use it, and they have a lot of resources as well. So if I go to design school, if you want to get there quickly, you can see the URLs designschool.canva.com. But if you scroll down to the bottom, they have this list of resources. So if you are struggling, if you don't have any fonts already that you need to use, you don't really have any colors, maybe besides colors, you have a logo or something like that, you need some complementary colors. They have a font combinations generator. They have a color wheel. So look, if I click color wheel, let's say I have a starting color. We'll just leave it with this. Let's say I want a complementary color or a monochromatic, which would be the same color, different shade, hue. I can do that. It will populate there. Analogous, which is, oh gosh, it's been a while since I took my little art basics class in college, but there's all different versions there. So you can use these resources if you're struggling on that aspect of like coming up with those basics, those colors, those fonts. What else? They have a handful. They have a logo maker. Never tried that, but sounds interesting. So if I do font combinations, you choose your initial font and it will come up with one that works really well with that one. So select a starter. It will populate one that works really well with it. And it gives you an example. So that's really cool. So I do definitely understand, Steve, the, I guess maybe frustration of some technology. But if I were to compare Canva with like Adobe Photoshop 2020, it's a lot easier to learn. We have the capability of we use Photoshop a lot for our clients. It's not that we can't, but when we are going in and creating probably each of us, I would say maybe 100 graphics a month or more for the total amount of our clients, this is just so much simpler. The way that you can leave all of your designs in one folder, you just duplicate and then all of those elements are still there, your colors, your fonts that you've been using, all of that. It just makes it a lot easier. So I would challenge you maybe to just dig into Canva. Start with the free version. There's nothing wrong with that. There's still a lot of capability there. And just play around with it. I think it's really fun. Do we have anything else?
Kelly West said that her favorite shape is a heart.
Kelly, that's not on the list, but I would just assume that means you're very sweet.
And Colton Murphy said he likes lines.
Colton is my husband. Colton, I don't know if this is what you meant, but hypothetically, if you were a squiggle, if anyone watching this after this is live, I'll go ahead and tell you what a squiggle is. A squiggle says you're a creative person who's always thinking of new ways to do something, but you don't think in a deliberate pattern from A to B to C. Instead, you tend to jump around in your mind, going from A to M to X. How to spot a squiggle. They're flamboyant, dramatic, and extremely creative, and they don't like highly structured environments. Both men and women, squiggles tend to be sexy, sorry guys, witty, and very expressive. They also have great intuition. Most performers and writers are squiggles. I feel like I know a few squiggles in my life, but they're a rarer breed.
Kelly said she can identify with the squiggle too.
Okay, well, then that might be a little bit more telling of your personality than a heart. I should research what a heart would be. It's always funny to me, this is like off topic, but in my mind, I'm like, how can you not choose a circle? And I feel like everyone feels that way, but it's like, they're perfect. Do we have any questions? Let me know if you have any questions about anything I've gone over. Again, I'll plug, if you want to enter our World Social Media Day Challenge, go look at the post on our page, probably right below this live. We posted it yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So if you share the post, you can tell us what you love, or no. Tell us a goal you have for your business that social media can help you achieve, and you're entered to win some really cool stuff. Go look at the post, you'll see what the prizes are.
And then PDF.
Oh yes, reminder, PDF. If you want the PDF document that I've created that has all of the different dimensions needed for specific, like profile photo, cover photo. I'm pretty sure there are Facebook dimensions, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. That might be it, but there are all of those as well, and we'll send that to you. If you want, just let us know in the comments. We'll send that to you here on Facebook. So if that's it, I guess we can use a little random number generator and figure out who's winning this Canva Pro membership. And we will be reaching out to you once we figure it out after this live. Yeah, we're gonna do this. I wanna make sure, we're gonna go through the comments and make sure we don't miss anybody. We were trying to write them down, but we're gonna go through, see everyone who told us their shapes, and we are going to figure out who won the 3-month Canva Pro membership. If you don't win, I'm really sorry, but I would still urge you to research it a little more if you're interested. And yeah, I think it's a great tool. It's really fun. If you get in there and have any questions, just give me a call. So guys, that's all I have. Let me get on Zoom and quit sharing my screen. So here's my pretty face. Wow, I'm really red. I was really excited today. Okay, that's all I have, everyone. If you are watching this after the live and you do have questions about anything that I went over, please drop them below or send us a message here on our Facebook page. We will try to get back to you as quickly as we can. Again, I'm gonna be figuring out who won the 3-month Canva Pro. Let me know in the comments if you're also watching this post live. Sadly, you won't be able to be entered to win, but I still want to know what your favorite shape is because I think it's really cool. That's all I have. Hannah, do you have anything? Hannah doesn't want to be in the actual webinar, but her hair looks really cute today. So, all right, guys, I'm out. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a bit of a long one, but thanks. I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday, a great rest of your week. Today's my Friday. I'm going to the lake. Peace out.